When people talk about marriage, they talk about love, trust, and sacrifice. What they rarely talk about is betrayal so brazen, it feels like a knife twisting in your chest. I never thought I would be the kind of man sitting across from my wife of 8 years, asking her point blank if she was cheating on me. But life has a way of pushing you into corners you never thought you'd stand in. Her name is Neha. When we married, she was everything I thought I wanted: funny, ambitious, affectionate, the kind of woman who lit up a room just by walking into it. Our families adored her, our friends envied us, and for years I believed we had something unshakable. I worked hard to give us stability, a home, financial security, a future we could both be proud of. And in return, I believed she gave me loyalty. But over the past year, I began to notice cracks. Late-night texts she wouldn't explain. Sudden business dinners that didn't add up. Coldness in her eyes when she looked at me. It wasn't just suspicion. It was instinct, that gut-deep feeling a man gets when something sacred is being tampered with. So one evening, after weeks of choking down my anger, I asked her directly. My voice was calm, though inside I was trembling with rage. "Neha," I said, "are you cheating on me?" She looked at me for a long time. Then instead of denying it, instead of crying or apologizing, she smirked. I will never forget her words. "Yes," she said, "I cheated. And I don't regret it." The room seemed to tilt around me. For a moment, I couldn't even breathe. I stared at her, waiting for her to backtrack, to say she was angry or joking or testing me. But she didn't. She leaned back in her chair, arms folded, as if daring me to challenge her. The arrogance of it made my blood boil. She didn't even try to hide her contempt. She spoke like she was proud of it.
"You work too much," she said.
"You don't pay attention to me anymore. I deserve excitement. I deserve to feel alive. And if I have to find that somewhere else, then so be it." I realized in that moment that the woman I thought I had married no longer existed. Or maybe she never had. Maybe the real Neha had been hiding behind masks of affection, waiting for the chance to reveal herself. Either way, my marriage was dead. But if she thought I would be the man who begged, who pleaded, who swallowed betrayal and let it fester, she had gravely miscalculated. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I didn't even curse. I simply stood, walked to the bedroom, and began making phone calls. Because if Neha believed she could cheat without regret, then I would make sure she regretted everything else. By the next morning, my plan was already in motion. You see, the house we lived in, the beautiful apartment she flaunted to her friends, was in my name alone. I had bought it before our marriage, and while she decorated it, while she filled it with the illusion of warmth, legally, it was mine. That morning, while she slept off her smugness, I spoke to a lawyer friend of mine. I explained everything, down to her confession. He told me exactly what to do. By noon, the paperwork was filed. By 3 o'clock, the locks were scheduled to be changed. And by the time Neha came home from her so-called coffee date that evening, her key didn't fit the lock. She pounded on the door, shouting, demanding to be let in. I opened it only halfway, keeping the chain on. Her expression when she saw the packed suitcase at her feet will forever be etched into my memory. "What the hell is this?" she demanded. "It's exactly what it looks like," I said, my voice cold. "You said you didn't regret cheating." "I don't regret evicting you." Her eyes widened in disbelief. "You can't do this. This is my home too." "No," I said. "It's mine, legally, financially, every document says so." "You wanted freedom, Neha. Congratulations. You're free. Free of this house, free of me, free of every benefit you ever enjoyed by being my wife." She sputtered, cursed, tried to shove her way in, but the chain held. Neighbors began peeking from their doors, watching the scene unfold. The woman who had proudly confessed to her betrayal now stood humiliated in the hallway, her belongings stuffed into a single suitcase. "You'll regret this," she screamed. I looked her dead in the eyes. "No," I said. "You will." And I closed the door. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Divorce papers were filed swiftly. Because of her admission and the evidence I'd gathered from her phone records, she lost any chance of financial leverage. No alimony, no property, nothing. She had to move back in with her parents, who were horrified when they learned what she'd done. Her friends distanced themselves, unwilling to be associated with someone whose infidelity had become neighborhood gossip. As for her affair partner, he ghosted her within days. Turns out he wasn't interested in commitment, only in stolen moments. When those dried up, so did he. Neha had burned her marriage to the ground for a man who never cared about her in the first place. Meanwhile, I rebuilt my life. I poured my energy into my work, my health, and my peace of mind. The apartment that once felt tainted slowly became my sanctuary again. For the first time in years, I could breathe without wondering where she was or who she was with. And Neha, well, karma did its work. Last I heard, she was still single, still bitter, still insisting that none of it was her fault. But the truth is, she made her choice. She admitted her betrayal without a shred of remorse. And when she said she didn't regret it, I decided to teach her what regret truly feels like. So yes, my wife cheated. Yes, she laughed in my face when I asked. But the very next day, she was evicted, humiliated, and stripped of the comfort she once took for granted. She thought she could play games with my life. Instead, she lost everything, and I don't regret a damn thing.